Hello everyone, my name is Kosoma and today I'm gonna do a quick introduction for the basic concept of customer lifecycle, which I'm going to include two parts. The first one is the customer acquisition and the sales funnel. The goal of this video is to basically introduce to you all the basic concept about what we are going to cover in the upcoming masterclass, and to at least have you understand the basic concept, and then you can apply it to your own business, and then you come prepared to the class. Because like I already mentioned in our masterclass, we are not going to just learn. Basically, you guys are gonna learn by yourself, practice it, bring it to the class, do a presentation to the group. And then we're gonna have on spot on the part where we see it's not being covered yet. So what I'm going to cover for this specific session is that I'm gonna go through the customer lifecycle, the customer journey. I'm going to introduce you to Pirate Metric Framework, or you can call it AARRR. Also going to mention about the customer acquisition process and sales funnel in general. Just want to let you know this is the most important part. I'm going to tell you about the homework and what you're going to prepare for the masterclass. I'm also going to embed some tips as well. And last but not least, share with you the worksheet that going to use during the masterclass with Tommy, and also the references for you as well. Before I kickstart, I would like to invite all of you to do some practice with me. There's only 4 steps that you have to follow when you are listening to this training. First, I invite you to listen with a purpose. And the purpose is that to filter the information that you hear that fit to your business. And the question that you should ask yourself all the time when you listen to me is to ask yourself, how does this specific things apply to your business? And last but not least, please feel free to pause the video if you have to reflect on spot, or if you think about something, you need to write it down and you need to actually practice it. So this is the 4 tip that I always use when I'm learning, and it's actually quite effective for me, and I hope it's effective for you as well. Okay, so let's get started. So what is customer life cycle? What is customer journey? I have to say that customer lifecycle and customer journey are actually the similar process, the similar thing. It's just that when we're talking about the customer lifecycle, you kind of speak it in a broad term. You kind of speak it in a long term, in a company level, full of strategy. But if you look into the customer journey, it's actually very specific to one type of customer. Why I'm saying this? Because some company might have a different customer segment. However, they have the same direction. They have the same goal. Customer lifecycle and customer journey is basically describing the process that customer who have no idea about your product, now they know it, and they come, now they know it, they buy it, and they come back to buy again. So it's about the whole journey like this. If you look into the graphic that I show you, it's basically is a customer life cycle. So what is customer acquisition? So like I mentioned in the class, previous class, customer acquisition, which means that the customer, what is the strategy that you have in place so that the customer who know nothing about your products get to know your product, and then they probably come to visit your store, they probably click buy, and then they make a purchase and things like this. Is this customer acquisition? What do you have to do to gain a new customer? But when we're talking about the customer retention, now they already buy it. How can we make sure, what are the strategy must be in place to make sure that they come back to buy it again? Or maybe they bring people with them to buy it more. They could act as the ambassador of your product as well. So this is customer retention. So if you look into the graphic in the slide, you can see that it describes the customer life cycle in a broad term. So now let's take a look into the customer journey, a very, very specific customer journey that it might be different if you look into the physical touch point and digital touch point. Things that digital touch point is the platform, is a channel that you use it to promote your product or your service to the market. So from the awareness to consideration, to purchase, to retention, to advocacy, you can see that it's actually quite different strategy, it's quite different approach between the digital and physical touchpoint. Clarify that in the customer journey that you are seeing right now is providing you with tool, with the strategy that you can do. But remember, it doesn't mean that you have to follow everything. You need to know which one that works best for you. You need to know which one that fit well to your customer. This is a very important point that I would like to clarify it to you. There's so many frameworks, so many tools out there for you to use to understand your customer life cycle. However, remember that we are at a very, very early stage, and I highly recommend all of you to use a very, very simple tool. And I have one tool out there that I would like to use it as a way to communicate with you about the customer acquisition and customer retention, and then we will use this as an example for the whole session. I also going to introduce additional tool as well, and you can make a decision by yourself which tool that you want to use, which tool that fits best to you. So right now, let's start with the AA or Pirate Metric framework. So if you look into the Pirate Metric framework, you can imagine it like a pyramid like this. It starts with acquisition, which basically it's about the user find out about your product, and then it's tailored down to, then it tailored down to the activation. It's how user interact with your product. And by interact, it probably means that they come to visit your store, they try the free trial, or they at least allow you to do a demo for them, or maybe they make a purchase. They also in the activation part. If you look into the retention, which means that they already buy it and they keep coming back again. Let's say they get a free trial and they like it, so they subscribe for 1 year, or they subscribe for 1 month. This is the retention part. And even better if they bring people in to come with them as well, which is exactly the next point for the referral. So they either recommend your product on the social media, or they bring other people, or maybe suggest or share around. So basically they act as the ambassador for your product or for your company. Last but not least is the revenue part. So this is when you generate the minimum income, when you generate money. And you probably ask me like, why revenue is after the referral? Didn't you just say that people make a purchase at the activation part, so revenue should be at activation? I just want to clarify that even the customer buy you at the activation part, it doesn't guarantee that you create an income, because sometimes they just buy it for free. They buy a free trial, okay? And sometimes they might pay as well, but the money have been deducted in the referral part. For example, they pay $5, yeah, but we give them to the wallet back $5 because it's been referral from other customer. So you don't really make any money. So the easy way to help yourself to do the Pirate Metric framework is to ask this question. For the acquisition, you can ask yourself, how are your prospective customer finding out about your product? What are your strategy? Where can they find you? Okay, this part I'm going to detail in the customer acquisition process in the upcoming slide. Activation, what convince your prospective customer to of the value of your product? What can we do for them to be able to see the value with, to touch it, to feel it, to experience it? Retention, how do your customer continue experiencing the value of your product? Sometimes you find out that they really like it, but they cannot come back again because it's too expensive for them. Maybe you need to think about the strategy on what makes sure your first early adopter customer keep coming back when money is a challenge for them. Yeah? Or maybe when we're unsure. For those who are sure, see the value of it, they keep paying it. It's okay. But for those who are unsure, but you know soon they're going to be ready to buy it, you should do something about it. one thing that I really, really like about the customer retention strategy that Kung Fu Kitchen has been doing is amazing. Why? The $10 coupon vouchers, which is equal around 30% discount, is amazing. It's something that keep me going back. Well, I have to say that Kung Fu Kitchen is probably not so healthy. In terms of food, it's full of oil. But at the same time, we all agree that it tastes really, really, really good. So I always have the $10 coupon at the back of my phone. And somehow the coupon lasts only 1 month. And for me, I don't want to waste $10. So I keep going back to use that coupon at least once a month. I'm going back to ensure that the coupon didn't get not expire. So this is a very, very good strategy that I really like. I'm a customer, I value the product, but I kind of like want to run away from it a bit. But Kung Fu keep me going back because of that $10 coupon. So it worked for me this way. Fourth is about the referral. The question that you can ask yourself is, what get your customer to talk about your product to other people? Last but not least, what get your customer to pay for your product? Some people even ask for, what can I get my customer to pay more? So they always have an add-on premium option. So this is another business model topic. I highly suggest you to look into the example that I show here. It's going to be really easy to see and easy to understand. So please feel free to pause this video and take a look at it. All right, so next slide, I'm going to go into the detail with you about the customer acquisition and together with the sales funnel process. So basically, these two things actually go together. And I'm going to use a business as an example when I do an explanation. So customer acquisition and sales funnel, they go together, as you can see in the process. Now let's take a look at the sales funnel, where we have awareness, education, conversion, engagement, and then you're closing the deal. So basically, the customer walk by and see your product, blah, 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 they make a purchase. So this is like a sales funnel. But when we're talking about the customer life cycle, which also have a customer acquisition, which also have a customer journey in it, we see them as a visitor. And then we see them as a lead. And then we see them secure. And then we convert them into the customer. We use our retention strategy to make sure that they become an active user, and then they become a loyal customer. As a loyal customer, which means that they speak good about your brand, they advocate for you, they even ask other people to use your product. Oh, you ask me why there's a digital marketing strategy up there. In each process, you must have a strategy in place. You must have a strategy on what can you do to convert your lead into your customer. You can use the physical touch point as a strategy, or you use a digital touch point as a strategy that you can see in the previous slide. Let's use a local business as an example in each step. So let's start with the awareness. So let's say you are the first product going to the market. Nobody knows about you. As a business owner, you're responsible to educate people how to use your product. Remember back then you remember back then on TV when they educate us on how to use a cooking rice, how to use an air fryer, they educate us on how to cook this specific thing. So basically, awareness and education, it's come together. Sometimes people know about your product, but they don't know how does it work, so they're not going to buy it. So education must come together with the awareness, with the advertisement. And if you look into the current era, where now shopping goes online, you can see that even on Taobao, on Pinduoduo, on Chinese platform, they have a picture of the product, but they also have the video on how the product should be used. How does it look like? So this is a very, very good strategy to make people feel informed and make people aware of your product and interested and want to buy. And then we move into the conversion part where you make it easy to buy. And then you start to engage them. So this part is very interesting. Sometimes when you click, like, sometimes you know what is it and you want to buy it, but you have not made a purchase yet. And somehow you forgot to buy it. 1 month after, or maybe 2 weeks after, 1 day after, someone message you again like, hey, I saw that you put it in your cart. Would you like to buy it? So this is engagement. They keep engaging with you until they be able to close the deal. Let me tell you one great example that I have. There's one software that they do perfectly well online without contact with people, perfectly well on their product. So I want to install that specific application, a software on my computer. And when I install it, they ask me for like $10 per month just to use that software. And for me, immediately I click no, because it's too expensive. It makes no sense. I probably just get it for free somewhere online. So the moment that I click no, I don't need it, they pop up 50% discount. And for me, I'm like, whoa, so it's only $2.5 per month and I can use it, advertisement free. And I start to feel like I want to buy it. But then I think again, and I'm like, nah, maybe I still prefer a free one. Probably I don't use it that often. So I click no again. No, I don't need it again. And you know what? They pop up another one, 80% discount last time. Yeah, so I buy it because of that. For me, see, in just less than 2 minutes, they convert me. They keep engaging and they convert me to become a customer. It's easy like this. It's a very, very good strategy. So I'm talking about this strategy using the sales funnel one. But let's move to the customer life cycle, where we have a visitor, we have a lead, we have secure, we have customer and stuff. So imagine that you scroll on Facebook. I'm going to use my real example, okay? You scroll on Facebook. And then in the digital marketing, there's a koi bubble tea. The koi bubble tea, they say that one free one. To me, I click it. I click on it. I click on the advertisement. I click on the website, or I click on their Facebook to read the detail about their one free one. So the moment that I click on it, I become the lead automatically. Okay, because I'm interested. I'm someone who's interested. That's called the lead. So when I become the lead, I send them the message, where can I get the discount? Or maybe the information is already on the post on where I can buy it. For example, maybe I can still get it from Foodpanda, or I get it from Grab or Nyamapay Buon. See, the information is there. It's easy to convert me to make sure I'm secure, and then I become a customer. So in case that they don't, they let you message them. For the case of koi, it's so easy, but let me give you one more example about urchin, you know, Thai Kampma, Kampama Samoto, Nangai. They actually don't put the price up there. For one shop that I want to buy, they don't put a price up there. So for me, I see the promotion, I'm interested, I become a lead, I text them. So the moment that I click on it, they know that I click on it, they send a message, automatically chatbot with the package and the price in detail. So for me, it's secure, it's enough information to know, so I buy it. I buy it. So imagine if I already buy it, my information is out there, and they try to convert me to become an active user, They can just keep sending me the detail when there's a discount, because they know that I'm a lead who, or a customer who love discount. So every time they have a discount, they just message me, I probably buy it again. Yeah. And then later on, a loyal customer. Everyone, I just want to make it clear that from visitor to customer is a customer acquisition. Okay? The strategy from convert your customer into an active user and loyal customer is a customer retention. So let me bring this slide back again, the customer acquisition and retention journey as a whole, that you can look into the physical touch point and digital touch point, and this is going to be the homework that you have to do. And please, 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 no need to put everything, only put the things that apply to your business when you submit it and when you bring it to the class. But I highly recommend you to look into this, get inspired, copy, paste, and modify, best fit to your business. So, what are your homework? So, there's a task that you have to complete before coming to the class. And as you already know, you are required to do a presentation to the class. Some of you have already done it. But I invite you to do it in the graphic way, like I mentioned here. Make sure you cover the awareness, consideration, purchase, retention, advocacy, and you follow the sales funnel, you follow the customer's cycle on slide 9 and slide 10 that I shared with you. This will be easy for us to understand, and it's also easy for you to visualize it for your team to understand as well. And you get ready to present it to the group. And feel free to use it on Google Sheet, you can use it on Google Doc, or you can use a Canva. You don't need to copy or follow everything. I want you to only keep it simple, keep it practical, and do what necessary that apply and fit well to your business. For example, for the physical touch point, maybe doing a PR or radio, TV, print doesn't make sense at this stage, so just remove it, just forget about it. Only put what that applicable to your business. As you can see, there's a worksheet that you can do in the class, and there's a slide from Tommy as well, so you feel free to review in advance before coming to the class. Again, see you tomorrow. Bye bye.